The tree of liberty must be refreshed from time to time with the blood of patriots and tyrants. Thomas Jefferson. Yes, I said those words, written in the context of 1787, in the aftermath of the American Revolution and in the thick of a new republic struggling to define itself. But let me be clear, they were never meant as a blank check for bloodshed, nor a perpetual license for insurrection. They were a meditation on vigilance, a warning that liberty, like any living thing, must be cared for, watched over, and yes, defended. In my time, the idea of liberty was not theoretical, it was visceral. It came after the breaking of empire, the building of a nation from first principles, from fire and ink and sacrifice. We had no guarantees, only convictions. The blood I referenced was not a celebration of violence, it was an acknowledgement of cost. The cost of inaction, the cost of submission, the cost of tyranny, but also the cost of responsibility. Too many in your day quote this line without quoting its context. They brandish it like a sword, not knowing it was meant as a scalpel. They see only the violence in the image, the blood, but they forget the burden it implies. That the patriot must not only be willing to bleed, but to bleed justly, with wisdom, with restraint, with an eye not toward destruction, but toward preservation of the Republic. When I spoke of tyrants, I did not mean elected officials with whom one disagrees. I did not mean the result of a lawful vote. I did not mean the bruises of democracy or the discomfort of compromise. Tyranny is not when you lose power. Tyranny is when you lose the right to speak, to dissent, to be represented. Likewise, patriotism is not a mask for grievance. It is not a club to wield against your fellow citizen. It is a duty to the public good, not a personal license for defiance. The tree of liberty requires far more than blood. It requires cultivation, education, patience, civic participation, and the courage to hold your side to account just as rigorously as you do the others. Let me offer counsel to this modern moment. Beware those who quote me to justify chaos. Beware those who speak of liberty yet seek dominion, who claim tyranny while erecting their own, who invoke my words but not my meaning. The United States I helped forge was never promised permanence. Its survival depends not on the ability to take up arms, but the willingness to take up responsibility. If liberty is indeed a tree, then the blood it may require must be the last resort, not the first instinct. The water it needs more often is the ink of the informed, the vote of the vigilant, and the voice of the virtuous. You live in an age where the means to disrupt are powerful, instantaneous, and viral. But disruption without purpose is not rebellion. It is recklessness. The founders were not mere agitators. They were architects. They broke away, yes, but they also built. So if you would invoke my name, ask yourself, are you building or simply breaking? Do you seek truth or only a weapon? Do you honor liberty or only wear it like a costume? I leave you with this. The greatest danger to the tree of liberty is not that it will be chopped down by enemies, but that it will be neglected by its guardians, those too distracted, too divided, or too disillusioned to tend it. The blood of patriots and tyrants may water the roots, but it is the toil of citizens, the sweat of voters, the ink of journalists, and the courage of everyday people that truly lets liberty grow. If you love this republic, don't burn it to prove it. Nourish it, and know the difference between revolution and ruin.